जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय स्मारं गोविंदाय वागी जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
धन्यवाद सभी लोगों को, वैष्णव प्रणाम। और तो हम शुरू करेंगे आज का डिस्कशन भगवत गीता पे है जो। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। यू कैन रिपीट आफ्टर मी।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 Hare Krishna. So we'll read today and discuss from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 1, text number 15, and text number 15. Yes. So I'll read first one and then everyone can read one by one. Yes, and feel free to be interactive and ask questions if you have in between. We can discuss. Panchajagnyam Rishikesho. You all can repeat after me. First one. Panchajagnyam Rishikesho.
पाञ्चजन्य ऋषिकेशो
Devadattam Dhananjayah.
देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः
Pandro Dadhamau Mahasankham.
पौण्ड्रौ दध्मौ महाशङ्खम्
Bhimakarnavakodhara.
भीमकर्मावृकोदरः
Okay, in case if somebody doesn't have the book right now, so I'm sharing the screen. You can see, right, and read. So we'll read a word by word meaning, translation, and purport now. But going forward, we'll read Sanskrit and then translation and purport. Panchajagnam, the council named Panchajanya. Rishikesh, Krishna, the Lord who directs the senses of the deities. Devadattam, the council name Devadatta. Dhananjaya, Arjun, the winner of wealth. Poundram, the conch named Pondra. Dadhamau, blue. Mahasankham, the terrific conch. Bhimakarma, one who performs Herculean tasks. Vrika Udaraha, the ferocious eater Bhima. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Sri Krishna blew his council name Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his, the Devadatta, and the Bhima, the ferocious eater and performer of Herculean task, blew his terrific council called Poundra. Purport. Lord Krishna is referred to as Rishikesha in this verse because he is the owner of all senses. The living entities are part and parcel of him, and therefore the senses of the living entities are also part and parcel of his senses. Impersonalists cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the heart of all living entities, directs their senses, but he directs in terms of the surrender of the living entity, and in the case of a pure deity, he directly controls the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna, and thus his particular name of Rishikesha. The Lord has different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudana because he killed the demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudeva because he appeared as the son of Vasudeva. His name is Devaki Nandana because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashodanandan because he awarded his childhood pastime to Yashoda at Vrindavan. His name is Prathasarthi because he worked as the charioteer of his friend Arjuna. Similarly, his name is Rishikesa because he gave direction to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjuna is referred to as Dhananjaya in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditure for different sacrifices. Similarly, Bhima is known as Vakodara because he could eat as ferociously as he could perform Herculean tasks, such as killing the demon Hidimba. So the particular type of conch shell blown by the different personalities on the side of Pandavas, beginning with the lords, were all very encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credit, nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the supreme director, nor that the goddess of fortune. So they were predestined to lose the battle, and that was the message announced by the sounds of the conch shell. Hare Krishna. So this is so far. We'll just recap what did we read so far. So in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we read that Dhritarashtra is asking his secretary Sanjay, is about what happened in the battlefield, and then Sanjay started describing how did Duryodhana go to his generals, Dronacharya, Bhishma, and Duryodhana was trying to be political and diplomatic and encouraging everyone in his own way. But at the same time, he was depressed, so Bhishma blew the conch shell to encourage him. And after that, he kind of Duryodhana was trying to find fault in his own way, right? And now, after Bhishma blew the conch shell, Lord Krishna also blew the conch shell, and then everyone, other parties also blew the conch shell. That was announcement of the war to begin. So the conch shells of Krishna and Pandavas are described as transcendental conch shell here. And that is by Sanjaya, who is the secretary of Dhritarashtra, the Kauravas side. So that is very significant here. And also you see, until I just read this Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita here, version he describes, I didn't knew the meaning of these all different names of Krishna. Like here is it describing, right? Rishikesha, Madhusudana, Govinda, Vasudeva, Devaki Nandana, Vashodanandana, Prathasarthi. All these I was not aware. So he's very beautifully describing for us to understand the meaning of these words. And Brikodara, right? Pandra. So that is very significant. And here last Prabhupada is saying, since goddess of fortune are staying with Vishnu, who is Krishna here, personally present, who is a supreme Vishnu. So the word naturally, the win was going to happen for the Pandavas. But anyways, we'll continue and go and read the whole episode here. So who wants to read next verse?
Prabhuji, me.
Okay, Matsi, please go ahead.
Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhishthiraha Nakulah Sahadevascha Sugosha Mani Pushpakau Kasyascha Parameshwasaha Sikandi cha Maharadaha Drusto Drumyo Viratascha Satyaki cha Parajitam Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvasah Prudivipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahu Shankan Dadmuk Pradak Ananta Vijayam, the conch named Ananta Vijaya.
You can Mataji, you can read from translation.
Okay. King Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadeva blew the Shugosha and Manipushpaka, the greater archer, the king of Kasi, the greater fighter Sikandi, Drishtadrumya, Virata, the uncurbable Satyaki, Drupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. Sanjaya informed King Dhritarashtra very tactfully that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that great battle, beginning with the grandsire Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including the kings from many states of the world. All were present there, and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to the king Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
I was saying thank you. Other people can read, and then we come back in circle.
Okay.
To all right, thank you. So here, same thing being described, and we can continue. Next one, who wants to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu, please read. Then
Yes. सा घोषो धार्तराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यधार्य नभश्च पृथ्वीं चैव तुमुलोऽभ्युन्नाद्यन्. The blowing of these different conchs became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. When Bhishma and the others on the side of Duryodhana blew their respective conchs, there was no heart-breaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned, but in this particular verse, it is mentioned that the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the stones vibrated by the Pandavas.
Hare Krishna. So I think he disconnected. So I'll complete that. This is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes shelter of Supreme Lord has nothing to fear, even the midst of the greatest calamity. So here, it is described. Okay, he joined back. Prabhu, do you want to read next one? Then we can discuss. Sarvesh Prabhu, Hare Krishna, can you hear me? Okay, so probably he's not able to hear. So anyone else wants to read next one? 20.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, please. Pavitram.
अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवाः ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यमिदमाह महीपते. At that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. The battle was just about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Rama in the battle between Rama and Ravana, and Lord Rama emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Rama himself, and wherever Lord Rama is, his external servitor Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. In such auspicious conditions arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee lay the signs of assured victory. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So here is being described by Sanjaya that Arjuna is sitting on the chariot and Hanuman is present, flag marked with Hanuman there, and Prabhupada is describing that how it was sure that Arjuna and Pandavas will win. Because goddess of fortune, that's a big tree, wealth, and Hanuman is present, who was there with Ram, Lord Ram. So there is nothing to fear. Like if similarly we can see one thing in our life. If you consider your life as a chariot, right? Like you are on a chariot, sitting on a chariot. Your life you can take as a chariot, and you as a sitting person there. And we are also fighting battles in different terms, right? Different, somebody may have a health problem battle, somebody may have financial problem, somebody may have, career problem, education problem, or just mental problem, somebody said something and you really don't feel good about it. And you're fighting with, you're internally with yourself and externally with other people. So here is the significance of Krishna, having Krishna consciousness life. So if I use whiteboard for you, just for your understanding, for all of you, give me a second. All right. I have to stop sharing this one. Then just a minute. No problem. Sometimes if we describe graphically, it makes more sense. I'm going to use my notes. I'm going to use this blank. Okay. You see this, right? So like, our life, if we take, is it's not a perfect chariot, but we are sitting on a chariot, hopefully. And we also have, horses when considered. And we are sitting here on a seat. And we have so many things going on in our life. And if we have someone who is guide like Krishna here. So Krishna is called Rishikesh. He is directing senses of Arjuna in this case, right? He is directing the senses of Arjuna. And if we could, directing senses means he's giving instructions to Krishna. So Krishna gave us instruction in the form of Bhagavad Gita. No problem, Mataji. Thank you. Yeah. So he gave instruction to Arjuna in form of Bhagavad Gita, and he's giving this is available for us as well, right? So if we have Krishna giving direction like he was giving in Arjuna in battlefield of Kurukshetra, and if we have Hanuman in our life, Hanuman in our life is our guru, our spiritual master. Okay. Why you need guru? Because sometimes the instructions of Krishna may not be clear to us. Sometimes it may be confusing, right? So if we have our spiritual master, our guru, which is like Hanuman, then it is not very difficult to fight in this world of our own world, right? Then our guru supports us, clarifies when we don't understand instruction of Krishna, and then we can easily go through this battle of life, right? Which we are going through every moment in different situations, right? And these five senses, which is called our five senses, five horses, right? Horses. Then Krishna directly controls this, and our Guru guides when there is confusion. So what happens then? Our direction in life is clear. That's why it is advised and requested everyone should practice Krishna consciousness. And to be able to understand these instructions, we need to have ability to understand it, because sometimes there could be instructions, but we will not have ability to understand it. So we need to have eligibility and capacity to understand the instructions, right? For example, sometime many time when suppose if you receive a message, encrypted message, or a different language message, we may not be able to interpret it, what exactly it is, right? How to use that. But if you have someone who is expert and knows it, then you can easily use that message, right? And do the as per need. So that's why it is very, very important to practice Krishna consciousness life. And you will only know this when you do it. There is no other way. There is no other way. Like, and that beginning is chanting Hare Krishna mantra daily. That's a kind of beginning of spiritual life. Prabhupada says uh, that's like preliminary stage. We start our spiritual journey, and a lot of most of you are already doing so. So that's a message here. We can go next one, next verses, next two verses. Who wants to read? Any volunteer for 21, 22?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Yes, Prabhu.
अर्जुनोवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थाप्य मयाच्युत यावद् इदन्निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुं कामन् अवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मि रणं समुद्यमे. Arjuna said, "O infallible one, please draw my chariot
Sarvesh
between
Prabhu.
the..." Yes.
Yes, please, please. Yes, sorry. I thought you were
Uh,
reading translation. Yeah.
Arjuna said, "O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms." Although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he is addressed herein as infallible. As charioteer, he had to carry out the order of Arjuna, and since he didn't hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, Rishikesha, the Lord of the total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotees. He takes greater pleasure in his pure devotees assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders, since he is master. Everyone is under his order, and no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is infallible, master in all circumstances. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come out to the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of a peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. Hare Krishna ji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Krishna. Yes, so Prabhupada is explaining to us, for us here, that why did Arjuna to ask Krishna to take the chariot in between the army. All right, so it's very simple. You would understand this. If you have any question, please feel free to ask anytime. or we'll go to next one. Text number 23. Who wants to read? Nikitam or Jenny? Hare Krishna. Okay. Nagarani Mataji, want to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. योत्स्यमानान
One.
वेक्षेऽहं य एत्रेऽत्र समागतः दात्रा राष्ट्रस्य दुर्भेद्येरुध्ये प्रियचिक्षीरवहाम्. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please. Correct only, na? Evat sako krushi case. Wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. It was an open secret that Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father Dhritarashtra. Therefore, all persons who had joined the side of Duryodhana must have been birds of the same feather. Arjuna wanted to see them on the battlefield before the fight was begun, just to learn who they were, but he had no intention of proposing peace negotiations with them. He was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face. Although he was quite confident of victory because Krishna was sitting by his side.
Thank you,
Next one.
Mataji. You can read next one. Yeah.
एव मुक्तो हृषीके संजय उवाच एव मुक्तो हृषीकेशो गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्यारदो तमम्. Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. In the verse, Arjuna is referred to as Gudakesha. Gudakha means sleep, and one who conquers sleep is called Gudakesha. Sleep also means ignorance. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. As a great devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment because that is the nature of a devotee. Either in walking or in sleep, a devotee of the Lord can never be free from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Thus, a devotee of Krishna can conquer both sleep and ignorance simply by thinking of Krishna constantly. This is called Krishna consciousness or samadhi. Or, as Rishikesa are the director of the senses and mind of every living entity, Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of the armies. Thus, he did so and spoke as follows. Next one also, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please. Next one.
Okay. भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्येतान् समवेतान् कुरुनिति. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona and all other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold, Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. As the super soul of all living entities, Lord Krishna could understand what was going on the mind of Arjuna. The use of the word Rishikesa in his connection indicates that he knew everything, and the word Partha means the son of Partha or Kunti is also similarly significant in reference to Arjuna. As a friend, he wanted to inform Arjuna that because Arjuna was the son of Partha, the sister of his own father Vasudeva, he had agreed to be the charioteer of Arjuna. Now, what did Krishna mean when he told Arjuna to behold the Kurus? Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Krishna never expected such things from the son of his aunt Partha. The mind of Arjuna was thus predicted by the Lord in the friendly joking.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so okay. Here it's all described that how Pratha, what does it mean of Pratha or Kunti, and how did Krishna has relation. So Sanjay is just describing what has happened. And Krishna, when Krishna was ordered to take chariot in mid of army, he did not hesitate. He could have just, said, "Hey, pause. Why you want to go and see?" Right? But he just did his duty like a servant, right? So Prabhupada explained in previous verse that when Krishna takes the position of a servant, he doesn't become a servant. He remains such a supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. So in any situation, when he was a boy, then also he was the supreme personality of Godhead. When he was a cowherd boy, taking care of cows, then also he was, when he was in Dwarka, then also he was supreme personality of Godhead. Right? So God is not manufactured basically. God is God by birth. God is God by birth. They don't become God by meditation or reading a lot of books and having a lot of followers, right? Millions of followers. People don't become God like that. The God is God in every circumstance. It doesn't matter what it is, right? So we'll go to next one, text number 26, and okay, one person joined, people joining and leaving, right? Okay. Who wants to read? Pavitra?
Prabhuji.
Because you want to read 26. Yeah.
Tatra पश्यति पार्थः पृतुर्नथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा श्वश्रूणान् सुहृदश्चैव सैन्योरुभयोरपि. There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies of both parties his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his fathers-in-law and well-wishers. On the battlefield, Arjuna could see all kinds of relatives. He could see persons like Bhurishrava, who were his father's contemporaries, grandfathers Bhishma and Somadatta, teachers like Dronacharya and Kripacharya, maternal uncles like Salya and Shakuni, brothers like Duryodhana, sons like Lakshmana, friends like Ashwatthama, well-wishers like Kritavarma, etc. He could see also the armies which contained many of his friends.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so everyone was there, right? Whether it is a friend, whether it is a uncle, whether it is a well-wishers, maternal uncle, friends, everyone, right? So that was the situation. Let's go to next one, Pavitra Mataji. You can read 27, 28, and then.
ठीक है प्रभुजी.
Yeah.
तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेय सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया पर्याविष्टो विषीदन्निदमब्रवीत्. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण युयुत्सुं समुपस्थितं सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas the non-devotee, however advanced he may be in material qualifications by education and culture, lacks in godly qualities. As such, Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends and relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them, who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as his soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of the body began to quiver, and his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind devotee like Arjuna. Although it is not mentioned here, still one can easily imagine that not only were Arjuna's bodily limbs quivering and his mouth drying up, but he was also crying out of compassion. Such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness, but to his soft heartedness, a characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord. It is said, therefore, Yashyasti Bhaktir Bhagavat Bhagavati Akinchana Sarver Gunes Tatra Samasate Sura Harav Abhatyasya Kuto Mahadguna Mano Ratenasati Dhavato Bahi. One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods. But one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So here you see that now first time now Arjuna is becoming emotional, right? He's kind of almost, crying that after seeing these people with whom he grew up, from whom he got so much affection and love and care in his life, now they are ready to fight with him and almost kill each other, right? So this is natural for someone soft hearted, but the same thing you will see did not happen with Duryodhana, because if you remember initial verses we read, Duryodhana was very proudly saying that, hey, see, these are all ready to give up life for me, right? He was very proud that people are gonna die for him. But here Arjuna is very compassionate and very, thinking that they all will be killed. For what? So he's gonna give all logic and reasons for not to fight. Right. So here in the last Sanskrit verse, Pavitra Mataji read is yasyasti bhaktir bhagavat akinchana sarve gunes tatra samasate suraha hare vyakt kuto mahadgunan manorathe nasti dhavato bahi. It is said that this is Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 18th chapter, 21 verse, that one who has unflinching devotion in Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, has all the good qualities like demigods. Right? So if anyone wants to develop good qualities in themselves or in their children or anything, then they should teach themselves or their family members about Krishna. Because even if you have all the material qualities, it is said, Sarvair gune tatra samasate sura. Even if you are sura, you have all the good qualities. Right? And then Hare Abhyakta Kuto Mahatgunan, right? If you are not a good devotee of Krishna, then you have no quality, right? Because like Duryodhana had all the good, he was a fighter, he was a diplomat, he was a politician, he could organize people, he could convince people to fight for him, but he did not have compassion. He did not have that intelligence, right? Nowadays it's called emotional quotient, right? EQ. He had IQ, intelligence quotient, but not emotional quotient. EQ is very important, emotional, right? So if that only comes from being devotee or being spiritual, the people who are cruel, they cannot have good qualities, right? They will not have any. One day, now they are killing other people or being cruel to others. Someday they will be cruel to themselves or their family members. You will see these things in examples in your daily life, right? So one of the cruelty starts with killing animals for the tongue taste, right? That's the first step. So societies who are non-vegetarian, you'll see that if they don't fear killing animals or eating their flesh, then they will not have any compassion towards other creatures or other even human beings, because killing is has been their training, so they're gonna kill naturally. Doesn't matter who is that. So only in Vedic culture you will see that there was a nature of compassion, and because they were deities of Krishna. Nowadays also you can meet two kind of people. Both people could be highly educated, like doctorate professors, and you can easily understand that who is what based on interaction you will have. Couple of things you just check, what is your thought about animal killing? They'll say, okay, fine, we should do it. But a deity will say, no, 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 they are also soul. No, we should not do it, right? So that is compassion comes from another good qualities, right? Comes from bhakti, from Krishna's bhakti. So we'll go to next verse, text number 29. Who wants to read?
Hare
Nikita.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Service Prabhu, please. Yes.
दीप्तश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं संसृष्टे हस्तात्वक चैव परिदाह्यते. My whole body is trembling, my hair is standing on end, my bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand, and my skin is burning. There are two kinds of trembling on of the body and two kinds of standing of the hair on end. Such phenomena occur either in great spiritual ecstasy or out of great fear under material conditions. There is no fear in transcendental realization. Arjuna's symptoms in this situation are out of material fear, namely loss of life. This is evident from other symptoms also. He became so impatient that his famous bow Gandhi was slipping from his hand, and because his heart was burning within him, he was feeling a burning sensation of the skin. All these are due to a material conception of life. Should I read next, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Oh.
Can read next one. I cannot hear you. Okay.
Maybe connection problem, Prabhuji.
Yes, sometimes.
Yes,
I can hear you. Yes, Prabhu.
yes,
Please.
Prabhuji. Should I read? Yes. न च शक्नोमि अवस्थातुं ब्रह्म तेव च न निमितानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself, and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Kichi demon. Due to his impatience, Arjuna was unable to stay on the battlefield and he was forgetting himself on account of this weakness of mind. Excessive attachment for material things puts a man in such a bewildering conditions of existence. Bhayam Dvitya Vinveshta Syat. Bhagavatam 11:37. Such fearfulness and loss of mental equilibrium take place in persons who are too affected by material conditions. Arjuna envisioned only painful reverses in the battlefield. He wouldn't be happy even by gaining victory over the foe. The words nimitani vipritani are significant. When a man sees only frustration in his expectations, he thinks, why I'm here? Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the Supreme Self. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self-interest by Krishna's will. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu.
lies in Vishnu. No one is interested in Supreme Self. Arjuna is showing ignorance for his real self-interest by Krishna as well. Service Prabhu, you want
Hare
to
Krishna,
finish that?
Prabhuji.
You want to finish that paragraph?
Uh, I have finished, Prabhuji. I think there may be some network
Okay,
connection issues. Should I again read that paragraph?
no, last three line you can read.
Hare Krishna.
Last.
Yes. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. Arjuna thought that his victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, yes, so Arjuna is here now, almost losing his composure and ready to give up. So we'll go to next verse. Anyone? Jenny or Nikita Mataji, do you want to read text 31 and 32? Anything? 32 to 35 is big one. So, 31? Okay, I can read this 31. न च श्रेयसनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनामहवे न काञ्छे विजयं कृष्ण न च राज्यं सुखानि च. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle, nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. Purport. Without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by the bodily relationship, hoping to be happy in such a situation. In such a blind conception of life, they forget even the cause of material happiness. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral code of a Kshatriya. For a Kshatriya, it is said that the two kinds of men, namely the Kshatriyas who dies in battlefield or the person in the renounced order of life who is absolutely devoted to spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun globe, which is so powerful and dazzling. Arjuna is reluctant even to kill his enemies, let alone his relative. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen, there would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he is not willing to fight, just as a person who does not feel hunger is not inclined to cook. He has now decided to go into the forest and live a secluded life in frustration. But a Kshatriya, he requires But as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his subsistence, because Kshatriya cannot engage themselves in any other occupation. But Arjuna has no kingdom. Arjuna's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do so. Therefore, he considers himself fit to go to forest to live a secluded life of frustration. Right? So sometimes we are all in same situation. When challenges comes in our life, the best thing comes is to give up. That's the brain told first time. Hey, this is too much for me. I have to just give it up. And why we give it up? Because we think that I don't need it, right? So we every time, because every actions we do is for ourselves. So we can easily give it up. But think of a doctor working in a clinic, and you see a lot of stories, doctors, professional people, like, or people who are serving bigger cause, serving on the battlefield, in military persons, serving, railway and all that, right? When the thousands of lives and thousands of people's life is on stake because of your action, then you cannot easily give it up. And Arjuna was a leader. He was a Kshatriya. He was supposed to protect the citizens who were innocent or humans. And if he give it up, then Duryodhana's party will take it over and rage, create rage and disturbance in society, and because they are impious people, right? It's like if terrorists take over your country, what's gonna happen, right? Because they will do everything what they can do, like ICIS, right? When they take over in Afghanistan, then everything is destroying, right? and wherever they take it over, they just destroy it. That's their first business: to control, to dominate, to exploit, right? For their own good. There are people sitting in Dubai and in big cities, and they are controlling ICIS and ensuring that they get enough money to run their businesses, and right. So that's what happens. So as a person, Arjuna, he cannot give it up because he's Kshatriya. He has to fight. Let's see what happens. So now we have a biggest verse, four verse together. Who is going to read?
Prabhuji, shall I?
Yes, please. Thank you.
किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वाम् येषे मत्ते काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च त इमेव असिस्ता युद्धे प्राणान् स्वक्ता धनानि च आचार्यः पितरः पुत्रस्तथैव च पितामहं मातुला श्वशुरा पौत्रा शाल्या सम्बन्धिनस्तदा एतान्न हन्तुमिच्छामि नतोऽपि मधुसूदनम् अपि त्रैलोक्यराजश्च हेतो किं नु मही कृते निहत्य धार्त्रा राष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः सज्जनार्दनम्. O Govinda, of that what avail to us are a kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield. O Madhusudana, when teachers, fathers, sons, grandfathers, maternal uncles, father-in-laws, grandsons, brother-in-law, and other relatives are ready to give up their lives and properties and are standing before me, why should I wish to kill them, even though they might otherwise kill me? O maintainer of all living entities, I am not prepared to fight with them, even in exchange for the three worlds, let alone this earth. What pleasure will be derived from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra? Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of all pleasures for cows and the senses. By using the significant word, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses. But Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our own senses are satisfied. Materially, everyone wants to satisfy his senses, and he wants God to be the order supplier for such satisfaction. The Lord will satisfy the senses of the living entities as much as they deserve, but not to the extent that they may covet. But when one takes the opposite way, namely when one tries to satisfy the senses of Govinda without desiring to satisfy one's own senses, then by the grace of Govinda, all desires of the living entities are satisfied. Arjuna's deep affection for the community and family members is exhibited here partly due to his natural compassion for them. He is therefore not prepared to fight. Everyone wants to show his opulence to friends and relatives, but Arjuna fears that all his relatives and friends will be killed on the battlefield and he will be unable to share his opulence after victory. This is a typical calculation of material life. The transcendental life, however, is different. Since a devotee wants to satisfy the desires of the Lord, he can, Lord willing, accept all kinds of opulence for the service of the Lord. And if the Lord is not willing, he should not accept a farthing. Arjuna did not want to kill his relatives, and if there were any need to kill them, he desired that Krishna kill them personally. At this point, he did not know that Krishna had already killed them before their coming into battlefield, and that he was only to become an instrument for Krishna. This fact is disclosed in following chapters. As a natural devotee of the Lord, Arjuna did not like to retaliate against the miscreant cousins and brothers, but it was the Lord's plan that they should all be killed. The devotee of the Lord does not retaliate against the wrongdoer, but the Lord does not tolerate any mischief done to the devotee by the miscreants. The Lord can excuse a person on his own account, but he excuses no one who has done harm to his devotees. Therefore, the Lord was determined to kill the miscreants, although Arjuna wanted to excuse them. Shall I continue, Prabhuji? Or-
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, so we will discuss. There are a lot of points in this section which we read.
Okay.
So first thing came up here that Arjuna is ready to give up, fully ready to give up, with the logic that why I want to win this battle. What good is going to happen to me? Because with whom I want to enjoy after the battle, they will be dead. So what is the point? Right? Very valid point, right?
Yes.
But Prabhupada is explaining that the actions, what he is thinking to do is, he's thinking to satisfy his sense, and therefore he is not want to do anything. But if he thinks from a point of view of satisfying Krishna, then he should work as per Krishna's direction. But then why does Krishna wants this war to happen? We need to little bit go back, right? Why does Krishna wants this to happen? So Prabhupada is explaining in the last section, if you read, if you go back there, of this paragraph, last paragraph, that all the wrongdoings done to Pandavas, they were given, they were given poison when they were child by Duryodhana's party. When they were in forest, they were set forth in fire. Their house was put on fire. Their wife was stripped naked. Their kingdom was cheated and taken away, right? And while they were in forest, they were, burned into the house, and then they were many times attempted to kill in the forest, right? And after 13 years, they were asked to stay 1 year incognito, and then again Duryodhana attacked, right? But Arjuna is a devotee. He don't want to retaliate. He wants to give up. But here Prabhupada explaining that a devotee may forgive someone, but the Krishna will never forgive if we do anything wrong to any devotee, because he can tolerate if you do wrong to Krishna, but he will not tolerate anything done wrong to his devotees. So if you become a devotee of Krishna in this life, then how much high position we have, right? If we become a devotee, that Krishna personally take cares. Krishna personally oversees that if anything done wrong to us will be taken care by him. It's a promise, and it's shown in case of Arjuna. So that is the biggest encouragement in our life, that whatsoever problem we are going through in our life, if we give our control to Krishna's hand like Arjuna gave, and if we follow the instruction of Krishna, and we may do things imperfectly, we may not be perfect in doing things, but Krishna looks at our attempt, right, as a loving father. And if we do that, he personally takes care of it. If anything wrong happens, anybody tries to done wrong to us, then Krishna is there to protect, and he will never forget. He will take care like he did in Mahabharata, right? So this is the biggest assurance we have from the life of Pandavas, right? So, so here we will end now. It's already 1 hour, and today we started late, so it will be late night in India, around 10 already. So tomorrow is Monday, so I don't want to go over time. If anybody has any question, comments, please feel free to say. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, in the previous shloka, here written that Arjuna conquered both ignorance and sleep. So how we can conquer our ignorance and sleep? While we get up early in the morning, we feel sleepy in the daytime.
Yes. So it is by practice, Prabhu. Ignorance is a big term, like in general, right?
Yes.
And sleep is one of the form of ignorance, right? And ignorance has so many flavors, as you know, right? Like intoxication, gambling, meat eating, you know, um, whatnot. Like ignorance is very big term, but sleeping is one of the very core, in a sense that one may be free of a lot of different bad qualities of which called ignorance, but sleep is one of the them stays with us. So to overcome the sleep, first of all, we have to take balanced sleep, like 6 hours minimum sleep, 6 to 7 hours, not more than that. Srila Prabhupada recommended us. And we should take sound sleep, because when you sleep, so that you can serve next day morning better, you can do your japa nicely, you can do your service nicely, then it's not ignorance. That sleep is not ignorance, because when you're sleeping, you're preparing your body to serve next morning. So that's not ignorance, first of all. Ignorance is when one sleeps too less or too more, too much, right? Suppose if even somebody is sleeping too less, but in the daytime he's taking some intoxication to stay awake so that he can or she can do service or can do job, right? That's not good. That's ignorance. And if somebody is sleeping too much and because of sleep, the person is not able to do the task or seva or japa, then also it's not good, right?
Yes.
So we have to take sleep, but if it is like excessive, then we commit ourselves to some service, and then we have to naturally wake it up, because if we don't get up, then someone is waiting for you to something to happen, right?
But
So
it
it's
seems
like
that probably 6 hours is not sufficient. While we sleep
in
6 hours,
sleeps.
then also we feel
Yes.
sleepy in the daytimes.
So then, so either the quality of sleep is not good, right? Person may not able to sleep sound because person is stressed and something, right? Because generally 6 to 7 hours is good, most of cases, right? Yeah. So then one should look at why I'm not able to sleep nicely, right? Like one time sleep and you sleep and get up after 6 hours, right? A lot of people get up, maybe they have to go washroom, they have some problem with that, or maybe they have to check the phone, um, or it just their mind is not peaceful. So then we should work on that, right? How I can sleep peacefully, right? So that's my understanding, if that helps. So then we start investigating there that how can I be, how can I have such a state of mind before sleep so that I can sleep well? One of the things people try is, reading Krishna book, or Prabhupada Leelamrit, or just listening Kirtan before sleep. Just Srila Prabhupada's Kirtan, like nice melodious Kirtan, and then sleep while, like listening and just switch off the audio when they kind of just about to sleep. So those things helps to calm down the mind so that you can have nice sleep. 6 7 hours is maybe good. So yeah,
Okay.
thank you, Prabhu. Is that helpful?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Anyone else have anything to say? Yes. Okay, if none, then we'll stop here. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुवस्य च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः. Before you go, we are still working on that. I needed some help. That's why I'm asking you guys. And I know most of you have been very regular, so I'm asking. So I needed help, especially if you're good at, communication a little bit, and it could be regular. A lot of you are regular. So that Bhagavad Gita certificate course we were about to start from December 1, but we are planning to push it to December 22 or something, because that would be winter holiday, Christmas holidays, and people may have more time till first week of January, because that's a holiday time, and a lot of people may be free. Even working people will have time. They will be home or somewhere. So we have around 22 days, 25 days around. And I needed group of people with me, working together to advertise it maximum. I know how to do it, what to do it, but I needed your help. If you could be, we could meet every 2-3 days and plan out how to do it. Each of you, if you are okay, can take one platform. Maybe one person takes Facebook, one person Instagram. We will provide you content. We will provide you what to say, what to post. And one person could, share in WhatsApp. We have a volunteers group already. There are 150 people. We need to just encourage all of them and request them. So, but I need support and help. So, is some of you would be willing to help there during this 20 days, 25 days?
Yes, Prabhuji, I will be there.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I will be there. Any
Okay.
kind of assistance.
Okay. So, Sarvesh Prabhu, Pavitra Mataji, and Nagrani Mataji, Jenny Mataji. Okay. So, there is a social media group. Communication, I think it's called Communication Social. I'll share. Give me a minute. Link now. You join it there. We already have 5-6 people, but we have not been much active. But I need now help for next 20 days, and after that, not much. So if you could, I'm just putting that link here in the chat. If you could join. I'm not putting into common groups because I don't want to have crowd just for people. So if you could join that group, and then we'll have a meeting. Oh, no, that's wrong. I'm sorry. That's the wrong.
Okay.
That's the wrong link. Don't go there.
Okay.
Actually, Prabhuji, I
That is
joined and
iSTEM
there-
Cares. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's another work I was doing. So this one is Bhagavad Gita social media team. Okay. Don't worry that the group I'm not active, so nothing much is happening.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have joined it.
Okay. So if all of you could be free tomorrow evening, not tomorrow evening means, okay, let's do
Which time?
tomorrow evening US time, but early, like early. I don't know how early.
At which time, Prabhuji?
Sarvesh Prabhu would be in India, right? So, and Jaini Mataji, you
Yes,
are
Prabhuji.
also in India, right?
Actually,
Yes. So, what time you guys get free in the evening? India. I'm asking Jenny and Sarvesh.
after 7:30. After 7:30.
7:30. So that would be US 8 a.m. So, but that would be early for Nagaranis in PS Pacific time, and also Pavitra is also in Pacific, right?
Yes.
So morning, what time you
7.
guys get free? 7.
Yes,
One day
Prabhuji.
you can sacrifice chanting time, just one day, then we just discuss. Because the Damodara Astakam will be now end after one day. So okay.
Then after Damodar Astakam, okay, with 7 a.m.
7 a.m. That would be good for Pavitra and Nagrani Mataji.
Yeah, 5:30.
Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. So let's do it. Please join that group, and otherwise also I'll message you in one-to-one, and let's we have the content, we have everything. We need to just keep things rolling and pray. Okay.
Okay,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. नमां विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नामस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी चारणी निर्विशेषण्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे. Yes, so Jenny Mataji messaged that 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. So Jenny Mataji, what we'll do, we'll record it and send it to you. You can hear when you have time. And yes, and then you can join, right? Is that okay? Yes, thank you. All right. Hare Krishna. So see you.
Hare Krishna.